Yes, let's start sharing. Um, I guess everything's okay. Can you see it?
Everything's okay?
Cool.
You're clear to go.
Yeah, thank you. So my topic here today is how we go from machine translation to multilingual GenAI, what to expect and how to evaluate it. It's important for us in WMT, and I'll talk a bit about general things and a bit about what are we doing this year in WMT. In addition to all our traditional tracks, of course.
Maria, I think we need to restart the screen share. We see you present on slideshow, but not actually the slideshow.
Oh, I guess then maybe I can share PDF because I guess something is
You have
not.
prepared a backup plan. That's always good in terms.
Yes, yes, because it always goes not very good with all this PowerPoint stuff. Yes.
There we go. Fantastic.
Cool. Cool.
Let's begin with evaluation.
Yes. So what's up? We see that GenAI absorbs a machine translation as a function and as a service. So it's not something dangerous, I guess. It's new reality when large language models try to cover all the functionality, and especially machine translation as a very necessary task for any person in the global world, I guess. So that's why we started thinking about what to do with all of this, because machine translation from isolated tool went to be integrated capability. Translation actually becomes one of the instructs for LLMs. You now need to tell LLM to translate, and you can formulate this prompt. We listened to the previous talk by Paula that we can use different master prompts to prompt LLM to translate, but translation can be not a separate thing, but also a part of a broader conversational and reasoning system. So you can ask LLM to translate and to reason at the same time, translate and explain, translate and reformulate, and many more, including visual context and so on. But also with this, translation becomes more manageable. You can ask to translate in particular style, in particular way, and in particular language variant, for example. But since skills grow, quality expectations from users and also from research community actually also grow. It's not enough to be fluent and accurate for the translation. It should be more human-like. It should be. It should cover all the scenarios and so on. So what then? To provide expected quality for expected capabilities, AI models should be really multilingual, not English-centric, as we are used to first years of GPT, for example. For now, more and more models are multilingual. And that's why we need more multilingual training data of high quality, especially for low-resourced languages, as usual, and more multilingual benchmarks and evaluation criteria adjusted for language and cultural specificity. Because expectations grow, so should grow benchmarks, and so should grow evaluation methods. And to highlight all these needs and to focus on multilinguality in large language models, we at WMT launch a multilingual instruction shared task. and it will be only for large language models. Our general machine translation task is usually for machine translation systems, but this will be for large language models. The first one will be pure machine translation by LLMs. We will try to compare them with a traditional machine translation, but to make tracks separate. And also we want to challenge models on linguistic reasoning. Maybe some of you know what are linguistic problems which are given in different strange languages, different low resource languages, and people, usually students, try to reason and to find out what's the right word in this language based on given information. Also, we will have open-ended generation. It's about instruction tasks, combined translation with something. And also we encourage participants to build LLM as a judge for multilinguality. It's also a challenging thing, given that we are used to do it only in English and a couple of high resource languages. And we will do it for 28 languages, both high and low resourced. Here is the link. You can read about our track. And if you are researchers or you know some researchers who want to challenge themselves, welcome to participate, to submit, and to find out how good systems are in November or at EMNLP. So what are the challenges for evaluation based on what I have told? The first challenge we face with LLMs is output variability. LLMs are non-deterministic, so we sometimes need to evaluate more than one run, not for everything, but for some cases, just to be aware that we don't need some horrible hallucinations or some unsafe content or some errors. Also, large language models always deal with broader context and have broader context sensitivity. So we should evaluate long context and sentence by sentence evaluation and even paragraph by paragraph evaluation for now is not enough to capture the context and to capture all the context related errors which can happen. Also, we should mind hallucinations. It is a common thing for large language models, especially when we talk about low resource languages. Large language model tends to find out, to make up some words, but not say it doesn't know it. So you try to translate to some low resource language and you get a very hallucinated pattern with made up words. So it should be taken into account. And the last but not least, task specificity. Every subtask needs its evaluation approach and its benchmarks, its criteria, and so on. So we broaden our borders in machine translation and make more evaluation methods and evaluation and benchmarks for evaluation. Also, all good computational metrics are completely not enough. That was in neural machine translation already, but now it is no-go. So we need to use either custom human evaluation or large language model as a judge evaluation. And as pros for custom human evaluation, we can always guarantee expert quality and also have direct insights to implement to our model. And but it is very expensive and time consuming always. As examples, we can suggest MQM-based approach to quality to evaluation and ECA-based approach. It was the metric we introduced at latest WMT, or side-by-side comparison, which is also good enough, but needs more attention. Why I'm saying something based approach, it's because we don't use traditional frameworks, but adjust them to LLM cases. And as for LLM as a judge evaluation, it is as pros, we can say that when LLM as a judge is well prompted and set up, it could be run fast and with relatively good quality. We also usually use meta benchmarks to evaluate LLM as a judge itself for its quality. But we, as a cons, we always need predefined benchmarks and also trusted LLM as a judge. In research community, people tend to use GPT-4 as LLM as a judge, but it's always also not so cheap, also expensive, not so expensive as people actually, but expensive. And also, as for load of source languages, I already mentioned that it's a challenge to train LLM as a judge for lower source languages. So we need to make some efforts here to get cool LLM as a judge. And as an examples, we can talk about reference-free judgments or reference-based judgments or rubric-based judgments. So we can prompt LLM as a judge to answer some questions about the translation without any reference, with a golden answer, or with rubric-based rubric criteria, where we can highlight the words, for example, which should for sure be in this translation, or some words which should not appear, and so on. So I guess that's all what I wanted to present today. Thank you so much for being here and for listening.
Thank you, Maria. We still have 5 minutes, so let me perhaps connect a little bit the what is happening in the scientific world to. Oh my God, so many likes, ladies and gentlemen! I'm expecting as many questions as you have posted likes. So please shoot away. So, Maria, what is happening is that the group of scientists that has been evaluating machine translation for quite a few years, have 10 or 15 years, right? Consistent evaluation, which is the best model?
20, 20
20 years.
years. WMT is 20 years this year.
Right. They are now switching. They're saying, hey, let's go after more AI. Let's expand our activities, methodologies. We are the people who know how to evaluate machine translation. And the same method can be applied across multiple use cases. So, is it the only effort in getting out the information which model is the best for which task? How does it compare, for example, with LMCs and the other initiatives in this area?
I guess it's not the only effort. Our effort is going from MT to LLMs as a like experimental expansion. Why we did this? Because last time many people asked for it. Like many researchers wanted to either train LLM for translation, but not a traditional translation system. And they asked for it, and we found out that sometimes traditional machine translation systems and generative AI translation systems are not comparable in terms of metrics we usually use. So we tried to make a separate track for these people who want to challenge their LLMs to translate to many languages. Also, this type of track helps us to expand to as many languages as we want and as we can do benchmarks.
Thank you. Olga, would you like to ask a question? I think we have 4 or 5 now that are specifically relevant to Maria's presentation.
I think there's a question there's a question that probably like to ask is, in what situations have you found LLM as a judge approach to work better than a human? I think I'm unmuted, right? And we've spoken, Joanne touched a little bit about correlation with human direct assessment. And there are a lot of questions around which one is better, which one is worse. So what's your take on that?
I can say that statistically speaking, I don't have enough data to say that it's better and that's worse. But I can say that sometimes, because of human factor, people tend to miss some errors, and LLM as a judge tends to find them. But it is more relevant for high resource languages, because for LLM as a judge, it's working much better for high resource languages, as typical LLM actually. So low resource languages are not for now. LLM as a judge, from my point of view, doesn't suit to low resource languages, but we will have participants who will specialize on it, who will be specialized on it, and maybe we will find out that in November we will have LLM as a judge, which will be very good for Mass AI, for example.
Interestingly, you answered two questions in one, because the next question would have been, what do you do with low resource languages? So I guess all the great minds think alike, and we do know that low resource languages are a challenge equally for translation and for evaluation. Konstantin, any other questions? We still have a little bit of time, I believe. Any other questions that you would like to ask?
Well, obviously, there's a question: how do you train an LLM to act as a judge? So perhaps you can disambiguate here, and we do have Michaela's presentation specifically on this topic. Mariya, what perhaps you could give us a little bit of an explanation.
Yes.
Of LLM as a judge.
Okay. Usually, it's more about prompting than on properly training. There are best practices in research community. I mentioned that people tend to use GPT-4 for LLM as a judge for some reasoning tasks, more in English actually, because the more papers in LLM as a judge area are about some tasks in English, some mathematical tasks, some reasoning tasks, and so on. So we get some assumptions from the research community and test it, and then prompt it in the right way. Usually, we use some master prompt and then go to evaluate. Yeah.
Konstantin, you seem to be muted.
Yes, so no training is required, only prompting. Let's take the last question. Perhaps to follow up, I can see 4 upvotes on Michelle's question. LLM as a judge, isn't there a conflict of interest in LLM being both the translator and the judge of translations? Seems more like judge, jury, and the executioner.
Yes, this is very often this question often arises in research community. Also, we tend to use as LLM as a judge a different model. We tend not to use the same model as a translator and as a judge. This is the most frequent case. How is it used?
So you put ChatGPT on one side and Claude on the other, and then let them fight to the death.
Maybe different versions of ChatGPT is also okay. That's why people use GPT-4, for example, to judge GPT-4o. The LLM as a judge doesn't need to be a good reasoner. It does need to be a good in factology and instruction following.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much. Tomorrow we'll hear more from you on different methods, and you'll basically give a toolkit to the translation localization people on how to evaluate with all the interannotator agreement in their sampling distribution. So looking forward to that. And for now, thank you very much.